So Media City is one of my favorite, art exhibition in the world. Beside, various biannual documenta, I really love this, series of exhibitions. But as a jury, I'm very honored to be here. But thinking about the responsibility of being the jury of selecting the work, it makes me mad. But I want to say that when you are selected, okay, congratulations. But when you are not selected, that doesn't mean your work is not good enough. But that's just matter of compatibility, whether your work will fit to the context or not. So don't be too much disappointed. That's my message.
이번에만 해도 50명의 작가가 참여했잖아요. 이 전시를 만든 사람들, 이 전시를 조직한 사람들, 그리고 50명의 작가를 하나하나 상을 주기 위해서 꼼꼼히 봐야 되는 심사위원들이 어떤 방향성, 어떤 목적을 갖고 어느 작가를 왜 선정했는가를 읽으셔야 된다는 겁니다. 그럴 때 이 서울 미디어시티 비엔날레의 방향성, 정체성이 잘 드러나겠죠. 이 비엔날레가 2000년도에 시작됐어요. 그리고 그 전에 전신이 됐던 전시의 경우까지 살피면 올해로 27년째라는 거예요. 한국 현대미술계에서 세계 미술을 향해서 일관된 메시지를 전한 거예요. 이제는 정말로 세계인을 향해서, 세계 미술계를 향해서 서울 미디어시티 비엔날레만이 이야기해 줄 수 있는 그런 영역들이 실현되거나 실현의 가능성을 보여주고 있거나 혹은 시도했다라는 이야기를 계속해서 전달했으면 합니다.
So for me, the artistic value of the Media City Biennale consists precisely in pushing art beyond itself. Pushing art beyond itself means, it could mean, it could be just words pronounced in several contexts, kind of being in this kind of teleological global arts discourse where the new is always posited as eccentric, as exceeding the previous dimensions. But I think what has been done here is unity of content and form, which organically has convoked these spiritual and magic dimensions, which art has lost in its profane, abstract, white cube, sterile dimensions. So it's a very courageous aesthetic constellation which brings art into the space of spiritual, critical spiritual, scientific, but in a very unexpected way, in a very singular way for me, which kind of challenges, especially biennales, but also exhibitions, to think of those spiritual, sensuous dimensions which are not bringing us back, but bringing us somewhere else.
두 가지를 생각을 좀 했었던 것 같아요. 아무래도 영혼이나 스피릿, 소울 이런 걸 얘기를 하다 보면 최근에 이 전시를 보게 되실 분들은 가령 AI나 기계 이런 것들의 대두를 통해서 우리가 느끼는 불안 같은 것을 걔네는 영혼이 없다라든지 그러니까 이런 형태로 해서 되게 인간적인 것을 좀 강조하는 우리가 좀 한국 표현으로는 정 같은 걸 찾는다고 하나요? 그래서 그런 게 이해가 되면서도 약간 조금 저는 그것이 약간의 트랩 같은 것으로 작용한다는 생각이 좀 들어서 그쪽에 어떻게 하면 나름의 자의식을 가지고 거리를 두는지 또 그렇다면 또 동시에 한편으로는 기술적인 것이나 영적인 것과의 관계를 또 너무 예술이라는 영역 안에만 예를 들어서 너무 사람들이 집중해서 생각하다 보면 글쎄요 굳이 정치적이지 않다 하더라도 한국의 상황이나 전 세계 상황을 보면 종교가 다시 부흥한다랄까? 다시 좀 되돌아온다랄까? 영적이라고 생각하는 것들이 좁은 의미의 어떤 종교를 가진 사람들만 가지고 있다고 혹은 우린 근대에서 하니까 그런 것들은 좀 되게 일부의 사람들만 관심을 가지는 거라고 생각하기 쉬운데 의외로 또 어떤 의미에서는 그런 것들이 전 세계적인 일반적인 의미에서 정치적이라고 얘기할 수 있는 것들에 많은 영향을 주고 있다라는 생각이 또 들거든요. 그래서 그 둘 사이의 어떤 균형이라면 균형이랄까, 혹은 정적인 것이라기보다는 좀 동적인 의미의 텐션, 긴장 같은 것을 어떻게 이 둘 사이에서 적절하게 혹은 새롭게 신선하게 균형을 찾는지, 그런 작업들에 저 개인적으로는 좀 주안점을 두고 작업을 보려고 하고 있습니다.
As you know, the second part of that exhibition title is Technology of a Spirit. I believe that it's very important to understand that this is a different technology, that technology that doesn't work necessarily on a material realm, but produces affect, emotions, produces certain very different reaction to the world. And so to add, I think the openness to the working of the technology of the spirit is very important, since we have artists from a very, very different time periods, different geographical locations, different cultural contexts, that all in one way or another use what we call in general technology of the spirit. So I think if you open and understand that technology could be understood in a broader way, you get way more about knowledge about the world.
We hope that the art community here in Seoul comes and sees the show and hopefully sees works that they may not otherwise have had access to. I think there's the exhibition has potential for opening up kind of different avenues in artistic practice, and we hope that it may be influential to artists here.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely see the artistic value as, you know, the power to inspire, to give new ideas, to give motivation for artists and non-artists alike, you know. And if visitors to the show, to any biennale that's done in the framework of Seoul Media City, are inspired and motivated for more creativity, for new ideas, that is the artistic value. Yeah. Well, without artists, there would be no biennale. They're the content. They're the reason why this happens. Yeah, they create the meaning. They create the content. Yeah, they create the substance of this.
세마-하나 미디어 아트상은 한국 사회에서 현대 미술의 인지도를 높이고 향유 저변을 넓히고자 하는 하나금융그룹의 후원을 통해 2014년에 제정이 되었습니다.
안녕하십니까. 저는 하나금융그룹에서 ESG를 담당하고 있는 황현 부장이라고 합니다. 하나금융그룹의 후원으로 2014년도에 제정된 미디어 아트상이 올해로 6회째를 맞이하게 되었습니다. 하나금융그룹은 미디어 아트상을 통해 한국 사회에서 현대 미술의 인지도를 높이고 향유 저변을 넓혀가는 데 기여하는 동반자로서 서울시립미술관과 함께하게 되어 매우 영광으로 생각하고 있습니다. 본 미술상이 지속될 수 있고 또 올해도 변함없이 개최될 수 있도록 애써주신 서울시립미술관 최은주 관장님과 미술관의 비엔날레 관계자 모든 여러분들께 감사 인사를 드립니다. 또한 비엔날레에 참여한 수많은 작가님들, 그리고 공정한 심사를 위해 심사숙고해 주신 심사위원 여러분들께 감사와 존경의 말씀을 드립니다.
We are pleased to announce that the jury for the 2025 SeMA-Hana Media Art Awards has selected two recipients, Hiwa K and Anocha Suvicha Kornpon, and one special mention, Ernest A. Bryant III. Every work featured in this exhibition is outstanding, notably reflecting the curatorial team's intention to challenge the Biennale's trends of chasing novelty alone. Numerous historical works by deceased artists were included. So among these, the jury first decided to focusing on living artists, because this award aims to support their continued advancement. So next, the jury discussed the social and political dimensions of spiritualism, as well as its relationship to capitalism and high technology. So whether the complex interplay of these issues was expressed within the works, became a major guiding principle in the judging process. Additionally, a large number of video works were exhibited this time. So the jury also discussed the importance of avoiding bias towards any particular medium. So as a result, the SeMA-Hana Award was awarded to two outstanding artists. Additionally, we decided to give a special mention to one artist whose future career development we wish to further support. Hiwake's work, You Won't Feel a Thing 2025, depicts people living with illness who nevertheless seek healing power in the quest for a better life. So what makes this work remarkable is that it originates from the artist's own illness, rather than observing someone else's illness from the outside. It represents not a superhuman with a special talent, but the image of the artist as an ordinary individual with a vulnerable body. So this work also reveals to us the fact that this healing power, so desperately sought by people, is subjected to political pressure as something that threatens society. In Anocha Savicha Krompun's work, Narrative 2025, a workshop for seniors is taking place. So watching for a while, we notice that behind the conversation, there seems to be the presence of many people who are no longer in this world. So this hidden theme of this work is massacre that occurred in Thailand. So however, this event is difficult to speak about directly and also difficult to resolve directly. So Anocha uses the power of the fiction to tell the story and, within the imagination, attempt to heal the wounds, even if only a little. The last one, special mention, Ernest A. Bryant III presents his work, Self-Medication 2005, which uses Congolese spirit statue and a series of works related to the Flight Jacket Project 2006-8. The latter borrows the cultural anthropological concepts of potlatch, involving the distribution of large quantities of chicken to the local community and then collecting the bones left behind after consumption to craft a tunic. So this depicts an economy of gift giving distinct from capitalism. One person gives something to someone and the recipient gives something back to someone else. Thus, wealth does not remain static in one place, but circulates through society like a living organism.
Well, I want to introduce myself. I say it's very often. My name is highly unlikely, but not impossible. Hiwa means hope. And that's the threshold where my film started from, is to resist even in the moment where being swallowed by the black holes. Yeah, this film came out of 2 years after 2 years of grief, where I lost my soulmate Aneta, who was suffering from sudden brain cancer, and she was going through chemotherapy, and especially when they know that after 2 days they know whether it works for her or not. They knew it didn't work, but they still continued 2 weeks until because it was bringing money, it was making money. The hospitals, they didn't stop the chemotherapy. So the hospitals were making money, and because of profit, they didn't stop. I just wanted to mention that. And the title of the film also, it's the title of the exhibition of our first collaboration. So I wanted to mention that. You Won't Feel a Thing. And the curators working on the notion of healing. And one of the healings was when I met Anton in San Francisco, and when I talked about that healer, Haji Najm, who people call him Haji Laser because he has this power in his eye. So he encouraged me to do that work, and so making that work also kind of putting an end to that grief or these difficult times for me. So once in Mesopotamia, healing was sacred. Death was born not as punishment, but as a promise, shared, sometimes forgiven, never meant to be enslaving people. Today, healing became transformed into business. A single night in a hospital can swallow your entire salary. Pain is privatized. And like a black hole, this system pulls everything into itself. Patients, doctors, even memory. But maybe black holes cannot swallow everything. Light still escapes. It's highly unlikely, but not impossible. The new capitalist order is not only a market, it's also erasure. It tries to erase the ancient methods of healing that have been practiced in the region for thousands of years. Practices older than machines, older than pharmaceuticals. By criminalizing healers like Haji Najm, they don't just ban a person, they attempt to erase the memory of healing that cannot be patented, cannot be owned. After the Americanization of Iraqi Kurdistan, even the skies became colonized. You look up at the skies and you don't know whether what you see is a drone or it's a star. Did it come to shimmer for you or did it came to erase you? So in this film I talk about like the sacredness of the sky has been lost. What once guided the prophets who were shepherds now carries coordinates of death. Making this film was full of obstacles by the local authorities also. I was even arrested once or detained just for recording ambient sound. They denied permission to use drones, they say for safety reasons, and yet every day drones from neighboring countries cross our skies freely, killing our people. They stop artists, but they don't, but not weapons. And I want to thank you for having me here, and thanks the curatorial team for inviting me and for being a part of this wonderful exhibition. I wonder that I got this prize because I see so many great works in this exhibition. I want also to thank all the team who were helping also with everything. You know, they've been so responsive and so reliable. I must say that. And a special thank to my team also in Kurdistan who are working with me days and night and taking risks also to make this work happen in such a short time. Thank you.
So for those of you who haven't seen it, Narrative is a film about a group of people who come together to discuss their shared loss of family members who were murdered by the Thai government in the middle of Bangkok in 2010. It was a very difficult film to make, and it is the first step in a larger project where we will stage a courtroom trial in which evidence showing the government's culpability in these murders is presented publicly. I could not have taken this first essential step if it weren't for the support of Anton, Haley, and Lucas. On behalf of my whole team back in Bangkok and the surviving family members of the protesters who were murdered in 2010, thank you. Lucas Brzezinski has been a supporter of my work in numerous ways over the last few years, and I am very grateful to him, the eFlux screening room, and the whole team at eFlux. Thank you to the wonderful team here at the Seoul Museum of Art. It is an honor to present the debut of this project in the context of this biennial.
Dear Seoul Media City Biennial curators, staff, and friends, thank you. I am deeply grateful for the chance to speak on behalf of Ernest Arthur Bryant III's work here in Seoul, Korea, a city which, like all cities, is full of spirit. A homecoming, a remembrance, with an honorable mention among so many strong spirits, make my heart smile. Bryant's first time in Korea, my return as an effective spirit. I arrived lightly, dancing, animated pixels, without a passport, but warmly received all the same. I, however, presumptively speak for all three of these artists, but especially for Ernest. What better way to celebrate an award or a windfall than to spend it, to give it away? As the Chicken Party flight jacket potlatch reminds us, within a logic of intention, generosity and waste are not opposites, but twins. Like the 1985 film Brewster's Millions, starring Richard Pryor, to inherit, you must squander. To prove value, you must first let value slip through your fingers. As Ernest Bryant has shared with me, I too have often confused the sacred and the mundane intentionally. I treated the television set as if it were a shrine, and I treated the shrine as if it were a flickering, humming screen. The eye and the cathode ray tube became magical conduits. Even when the images produced are in part the result of incompleteness, in their reproduction they still vibrate with spirit, with afterlife, with celebration, reminding us the hand which touches is also touched. Subjectivity is never pure. It is always in relation, interference, static. I am touched. We are touched. I accept this recognition on Ernest Bryant's behalf, not as a conclusion, but as a relay signal, one broadcast amongst many. Thank you for letting my phantasm flicker once more across your screens.